So today I want to talk about a very interesting topic. China dominance economically in Africa. What can be done to offset that challenge? Now, I'm not talking about politically. I'm not going to talk about if it's good or bad, their policy. That's not my job, right? That's above my pay grade. My job is to really see what they're doing and what anyone else can do to balance the powerhouse that China has on Africa. Now, Africa is the new El Dorado. Let's be honest. Population is going to be 2 billion in the next 20 years, 4 billion by the end of the century. We've seen the growth economically. We've seen the opportunities happening. We've seen the changes. We have 40 plus countries now that have signed this agreement to offset some of the taxes and people traveling across borders, so on and so forth. We see, actually, it's one of the largest, the economic, what they call it, groups, I can call it groups, in the world. But what's happening now is China has a dominance with their government-to-government partnerships, right? And the reason why is they have built strong relationship with governments in Africa. They bring a lot of money, and we already know with limited restrictions, so on and so forth. But there's two things that China is not doing that anybody who's coming in Africa can do. Now, I'll specifically focus on the U.S., right? Number one, investing directly into SMEs in Africa. China is not doing that, at least directly. They might do some programming directly, I don't know any, but directly they're not. And there's huge opportunity on investing in startups or SMEs in Africa due to the growth opportunity that Africa is offering, right? Now, there's a program like Prosper Africa that I joined a few months ago. Very interesting program. I think the vision is there. The problem is, I think the execution is still very slow from what I've seen. There's a lot of room for opportunity and growth in that organization. I highly recommend you guys check out prosperafrica.gov. I'll put a link somewhere. But there's more to be done. The second thing that no one is tapping into, at least not aggressively, is tapping into their diaspora, African diaspora. Now, no one has the largest diaspora than Europe or the United States. In the United States, we have millions and millions of Africans that are doing, either sending money to Africa, doing business in Africa, and there's no vehicle, specific vehicle, to support those guys, right? Financially, legally, structurally, so on and so forth. There is no specific program that is packaging for African diaspora trying to do business in Africa, especially in the innovation space, because there's so much knowledge transfer that the diaspora bring on top of the money, knowledge, job creation, so on and so forth, that is massive. But it needs to be channeled properly, and it needs to be amplified. And how do you amplify that impact? Is by now investing into the diaspora businesses that are trying to do business in Africa. Now, whoever is going to focus on those two key programs, I guarantee you, they'll be able to offset some of that dominance China has. I don't think China dominance is going to be reduced anytime soon, but I think there's a need for a new type of strategy. Number one. Number two, there's a need for a more aggressive strategy. Everybody's talking about the same thing. I can't tell you how many events or podcasts I listen. I hear about Digital Africa from France and all those other programs, but there is nothing concrete. There's nothing there's no very specific strategy. They're not aggressive. There's no funding putting in place. Now, what's been interesting is how large corporations now setting up shop. Microsoft, Google setting up shop in Kenya. They now finally, I've done vlogs about it a few years back, about how they need to set up funds to invest in the African ecosystem, and understand what's happening in Africa, and make sure that those decisions of those investments are done from Africa and not somebody in Silicon Valley. And this is slowly happening now. So I'm not going to claim I'm predicting, but if you look at some of my vlogs, I've been talking about this, man. And this is happening, and it's going to now scale slowly and surely. But now we need to really put some fuel into this vehicle, because whoever's going to really build a pipeline of SMEs from the diaspora, from the local SMEs, will be those who's going to win this continent. All right, man. Put your comment below. Let me know what you think. Take care.